earlier today I was watching this program on TV about bullying, and it brought to mind something happened to me like 2 years ago. And the background to this is that when I was little, in the first grade and second grade, I was pretty badly bullied by the other girls in the class. I hardly remember the boys in the class, but it was a girl who was, really bad. And among those girls was this girl I went to preschool with, or kindergarten with, and she was my best friend there. And our parents was really good friends, and every day after school we were playing. But in school, she had the other girls were bullied, were really tough girls. We told her that she had to decide if she wanted to be their friend or my friend, and she decided that she wanted to be their friend because she didn't want to be bullied too, naturally. So in school she pretended that she didn't know me, and I had to pretend that I didn't know her. And then either my father or her father came and picked us up, and we lived together, and we spent the whole afternoon playing together. But it was quite devastating, I think you can understand that, to be so, to have people acting like they're ashamed of you, or reject you that badly. And but at the same time, I was just a little girl, and I was 6 years old when this started. And I think you don't know how to handle the situation. It's really, really hard on you, really. Some years later, when I was between 10 and 12 years old, I lived in another place, and I had another friend who I didn't have any friends in school at all at that place, but which partly had to do with my being bullied before, because I had not hard time to make friends, but hard time to stand up for myself. And if somebody was being mean to me, I was acting like I deserved it, and I felt really bad about it, and I guess it made it fun to make fun of me and so on. And I simply had some bad luck also. It's just happened to end up in those places with bad people twice. But in this class, there was a lot of girls and boys too, who wanted to be friends in secret. There was this really popular guy, and I had a crush on him, and he was, when nobody saw it, he could come with small presents to me, small gifts and things like that. And it was really hard, but at the same time, I was the one who didn't belong in the group. And to add this, in this class, I was also pretty badly treated by our main teacher, and he lost his job over this, so it wasn't just in my head. This was, really, really bad. But of course, it also affected how our children behaved. But in this class, a lot of them turned to me, and with the problems, they came to me. I lived outside the village where the school was located, but they came to me. I could walk or take the bike for a far distance, and came to talk to me about the problems and issues, and I was always listening and giving advice and so on. Outside school, and when nobody knew about it. And I did that over those 3 years. I went to this class, and it was like my role in it was like the comforter, always the safe and calm and one to comfort people. And I especially one friend there, and it was a girl I actually had some kind of crush on for a while. And one day, then it was almost the end of this period of time when starting a new school. I found out that she was making fun of me because I was opening up to her too. Not that much as she opened up to me, but some of it. And she was like, I thought she was a friend. I considered her a friend. We had spent the whole summer together, and seeing some other friends of mine wasn't at school, and we had so much fun always with sleepovers, like for weeks after each other, and it was really hanging every single day. And then I found out that she was making fun of me and things we done together. It's like, and then she actually dared to come back to me and keep talking, and I was, trying to be her friend. And then she went to his friends again and was, making fun of me, and she never explained why. And when I started school again after that summer, she pretended like she didn't know me on the school bus, and I had to sit all by myself, and it was pretty horrifying when I was like 12 years old. But yeah, but this was, back in time, and these are things I have had help later on to process and think about and realize that I just had a lot of bad luck, and life is hard when you're growing up sometimes. But like 2 years ago, I had another friend, and a friend that I was the first person as an adult being, open up like that way, and told really inner secrets. And again, I was having this role of some kind of comforter and person this friend turned to, with issues and so on. And I felt we had some close connection. Also told about those girls and what happened when I was a kid, and we agreed it was an awful thing. And one day I've been talking all morning, and it was a little bit off, but still not. It was a lot of other things going on in both our lives, so it wasn't really that strange. And all of a sudden, this friend of mine told me that doing the same thing, like that friends of his friend was laughing at me, and it wasn't it wasn't any wonder, because he was doing that too and making fun of me and always having a laugh at my cost and all that things. And then I was like 37, and I had been go through all those adult life. I went for like from I was about 12 to 37. It's quite a long period of time, and in those it's just like 2 minutes. It was I didn't think this would hurt that way, but it hurt so bad. It hurt so much worse than anything else those ever bullies did on all those years. But an adult do this thing, that somebody can like betray you in that way. I don't know how to know what to call it, but I think it's a betrayed when you laugh at somebody you think is a friend or somebody you trust. And usually I use that expression like your heart drops, and that exactly the feeling I can still, thinking about, I can feel this feeling like it's like your innards like squeezed together, and I don't know. I'm an adult and I should be able to handle it. I think at the same time, why not? Why should I? Why should I not be hurt and feel completely devastated? Because it's such a horrifying thing. You think it's awful when children do such things, but when adults do it, and how do you protect yourself from it? It's a big question when you have children. How do you make your children protect themselves from it? And yeah, this program brought all those thoughts back, and it's something I can't stand when it comes to my own kids, and never ever accept when they want to talk badly about a friend of them or a former friend of them. Never. It's like a no, no, no. You don't do that. You're not a shit talker. You don't do that. It's not acceptable in any way at all. And my kids know that, and they can see in my eyes when I think they're starting to, get close to the border. Because also, of course, you can complain about somebody, you can be upset with somebody, but when you're starting to, make fun of people behind the back and so on, and this pure bullying, it's like, no way. Not in my home, not in close to me, no. We stand above that. I stand above that.